Well, if it can be broken, it will be broken. At least that's the truth with tractors. I work at a little tractor shop in the Northwest. We see a lot of broken things on a lot of broken tractors. I'm just going to talk about the 5 top repairs I see on tractors and maybe what you could do to prevent those things from happening to you. I'm going to be crawling around on the ground. It's raining. Should be a great day to do a video like this. Here we go. And friends, it is me, Micah. This is the Homestead Bandwagon with another exciting edition of everybody's favorite tractor series entitled, This Tractor Sucks. All about tractor breakdowns and what you can do to prevent them. Today, again, we're talking about the top 5 things I see broken on tractors and what you can do to not do them. Let's just get into it, starting at the front of the tractor. One of the top repairs I see on tractors on a regular basis are 2 hydraulic hoses. The hydraulic hoses on this tractor are tucked away pretty good. Some tractors, we're not so lucky. They kind of hang out the outside. Not necessarily a problem if you have hoses out here, but they can get snagged on stuff. You know, so we'll see a lot of leaks in these areas when stuff gets snagged. And to be honest with you, sometimes you got to do some work to break your hydraulic hoses. This hose right here, you can see has a little bit of a bend in it, and it kind of weeps from time to time. Actually, both of these got a little bit bent because one day I took the grapple off and forgot to disconnect the hydraulics and drug the grapple along for a while in reverse and kind of bent up these fittings, but they're still in one piece, so it does take some work sometimes to destroy them, but other times you look at them funny and they break. And I have noticed hydraulic hoses these days being just worse and worse quality. I don't know what's going on with that, but these hoses have all held up pretty good. But boy, I see some people just having endless problems with their hydraulic hoses. I would say, even though you're not supposed to use pipe tape on your hydraulics, if you're getting weeping problems on your hydraulics, go ahead and unscrew something like this. Put some pipe tape on there and tighten them back down. It will really save you a lot of agony on any of these little connections if they're starting to leak on you. What you can do to really prevent hydraulic leaks and stuff is A, not tear your hoses out, you know, when you're in the brush, but B, do pay attention. You know, if we were getting a little bit of weepage here, look at that. We got some hydraulic or some pipe tape in there. It's really preventing a lot of problems. So yeah, just kind of dummy proof yourself, but do check these hoses, tighten them up from time to time, and put some tape on them if they need to. Okay, what's number 2? What's the second most popular breakdown I see on tractors? It is right down here on the front of the tractor. So in this general area, we have some seals. We've got some seals up here. We've got some seals in here in this axle area. And I see these seals leaking a lot on a lot of different brands of tractors. And the reason I see that is because, at least out in our area, you get a lot of people mowing grass with their tractors. The grass and weeds and blackberries start wrapping up in these axles, and they push into the seals and cause the seals to leak. We also see it, I'm gonna crawl under here right now and see if we can see, I'll try at least. I also see it on a pretty regular basis under the tractor. There's an area like this where the shaft goes up to your your front axle. So this is like a 4-wheel drive shaft or whatever you want to call it. There's seals in there, and grass will get wrapped around that because people are operating in 4-wheel drive while they're cutting really heavy, tall grass. This shaft will spin. A bunch of grass will get wrapped around it and blow out seals. So I see that on a lot of different brands of tractors as well. While we're under here, how do you prevent that? Well, you know, if you're driving around in tall grass, don't be driving around in 4-wheel drive wrapping grass around this. And as you're driving around, look at your axles. Do you got a bunch of junk around them? Clean out around there. That grass is going to wrap up harder and harder and harder and cause a leak. Okay, number 3, while we're under here in the rain and the mud, see that filter right there, how it's got a little damage on it? I see a lot of filters getting busted off on compact tractors because people are out four-wheeling their tractor and bashing into rocks and sticks and stuff. You have a lot of filters under here that are going to get ruined if you do that. So, you know, your tractor's not a four-wheeler. Just pay attention to that. You know, if you don't know where your filters are, maybe get to know it, because if you know that filter's right there, you'll be really careful about driving over logs and stuff before you blast that filter off. Well, while I'm under here, repair number 4 that I see all the time is to linkages. For a similar reason that these things get busted, I see a lot of people out there braffing with their tractors and just not knowing that there's a lot of exposed linkages on the bottom of their tractors, and they're knocking out pins and busting springs, and all of a sudden their hydrostatic pedals don't work. So we see this a lot, where all of a sudden one day these pedals get all floppy and people can't figure out why. Well, it's because this is a mechanical linkage going right down to here. Maybe you can see this while I move these pedals. See all that stuff moving around in there? If you're out braffing around on your tractor and a pin gets loose, you can get some pretty catastrophic damage up in these areas with all these linkages. And sometimes, you know, if you don't know what you're looking at under here, you don't know if that thing is missing a pin. So maybe a good place to start is when you're under your tractor doing your first oil change. Look under here at all your linkages, make sure your pins are still intact. If you see something flopping around, maybe stop, see if you can see where something's supposed to go. So number 4 I see all the time, broken linkages or pins falling out of linkages, and then stuff stops working. Oh, well, it's starting to rain in earnest now, so that's good. All right, number 5, the repair I see a whole lot on compact tractors is broken loaders. I've already done a video on this called How to Break Your Loader. It made some people really upset, but I'll put a link to this in the description. How to break your loader. What I see broken a lot is hydraulic cylinders. I see them broken all the time, yanked out, compressed through themselves, twisted, bent, massacred. Sometimes people don't grease them like you're supposed to do here, and bad things happen. I also see bent arms on just about every brand of tractor. Where your loader mounts, I see a lot of broken stuff just from maybe accidental misuse or just not paying attention to what you're doing. So I'll put a link to that video in the description of this video, How to Break Your Loader. Well, there you go, your exciting video, the top 5 repairs I see all the time on compact tractors. Oh man, I'm gonna go inside before I get soaked. We'll see you guys.